They're a critical part of our community,
Nonprofits really help everyone in Georgia.
providing life-changing and often life-saving services.
The communities that we serve are hurting.
Well, we're already facing record levels of demand.
But now, nonprofits that help so many need help of their own.
It's been a rough road, and I'm worried.
There is a volunteer crisis.
As they brace for an increase in need, we'll examine the challenges they're facing and how the community can join together to help.
We're going to need the community to stay with us.
Atlanta would not be the community it is without the generous people who have given.
Join us as we explore the Giving Gap, a family-to-family special.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Linda Stouffer.
I'm Fred Blankenship. Nonprofits are the fabric of our community. From food to housing to health care support, they provide critical services to our neighbors in need.
But right now, many nonprofits are facing challenges. In this program, we will explore those challenges, how nonprofits are adapting, and also how you can help.
Let's begin with a look at the giving trends. According to the National Fundraising Effectiveness Project, the number of individual donors has gone down over the past several years since the pandemic, with a big drop of 10% in 2022. Now, as far as dollars raised, there have been ups and downs since 2021, with a slight increase in 2024 compared to 2023.
Some nonprofits are adjusting their funding models after federal grant cuts by the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. Others are bracing for possible changes after the federal budget bill was signed into law.
And meanwhile, more people are racking up debt to pay for groceries. They are using buy now, pay later apps. A Lending Tree survey found 25% of buy now, pay later users are funding grocery purchases with loans. That's up from last year. And with layoffs and possible price increases due to tariffs and inflation over the years, food banks are bracing for higher demand.
Channel 2's Karen Greer went to the Atlanta Community Food Bank, where leaders say they are already seeing an increase in need.
Lines are getting longer at food pantries all across North Georgia.
For Atlanta Community Food Bank CEO Kyle Wade and his team, the work is nonstop.
So we've got several million pounds of food here in the warehouse.
And the food bank's job is to work with nearly 700 local nonprofits to get that food to people in need across Metro Atlanta and North Georgia. Wade calls it a crisis. They estimate 1 in 7 Georgians is food insecure.
We're serving 60% more people today than we did 3 years ago. Inflation is the key cause of that. Families are having to spend more money on gas and groceries, and that leaves less room in their budget for other things.
The bill as amended is passed.
On top of that, concerns about federal cuts to the food assistance program, part of the budget bill recently signed into law.
Immediately, it will cut food assistance to many families across our community. Some folks will no longer be eligible. Others will get fewer benefits. And that's going to increase demand in the short term.
And Kyle, what, if any, concerns do you have about funding for the rest of the year and beyond?
We're working really hard to communicate with our donors and volunteers and other partners to make sure that we're getting all the support that we need. We're lucky that fundraising this year is going well. We've got a lot of great financial support this year. But the problem is that this is going to be a challenge for the foreseeable future, so we're worried about donor fatigue.
In the climate that we're in, what do you see as problems that nonprofits like yours could face?
Well, I think nonprofits everywhere have to think about a new reality that we're in, and so we've got to find ways to innovate, narrow our focus, operate more strategically, maximize our impact. And nonprofits are going to have to be better at how we make the case to the community about the impact we can have.
Wade is thankful for strong individual and corporate support and is hopeful everyone will rally around a common goal.
People want everyone in our community to have enough food. We can all agree on that. That's a non-partisan point of view.
To keep the pantry stocked, we participate with 2 different food banks.
One of the nearly 700 nonprofits that relies heavily on the Atlanta Community Food Bank is Midtown Assistance Center.
Well, the need is great. We're really focused on low-income working families, families that are working very important jobs in our community.
Here at the Midtown Assistance Center, they help more than 3,500 people a year with the basic necessities. I'm talking about the can of green peas, sweet peas here, or the bag of potatoes. They do all they can. The Midtown Assistance Center works to prevent homelessness and hunger. They operate this food pantry on Spring Street in Midtown Atlanta, and they are bracing for an increase in need.
I mean, affordable housing in Atlanta is very hard to find. So many of the families that we're assisting, they're struggling to just pay their rent on their income, which the income's not keeping up with the cost of living.
MAC and other nonprofits are also concerned about the trickle-down effect of federal cuts to food assistance programs.
It's very challenging for organizations, and then it's challenging for our community members.
Are you ever concerned about not having enough?
Every day.
Every day. And they've already seen a drop in their supply, with shelves not nearly as full as when I visited. MAC also provides job support and emergency rent and utility assistance.
So many working families that are living at or in poverty, they work very hard. I think there's a misconception that people living in lower socioeconomic brackets are not working, and they are working.
Despite the challenges, Jobson and her team are keeping their heads down, focused on their mission. And there is hope. When you say there could be enough, what do you mean by that?
There is enough if the community comes together and donates and provides support. Everybody can make a difference. And if you think you can't, take a look at MAC, take a look at maybe the community organization that's closest to you. I know all of the organizations desperately need support.
Advocates say one of the biggest issues facing our area right now is that so many working people can't afford the combination of food and affordable housing, reliable transportation, a cell phone, and internet service at home. I talked to a local nonprofit leader about supporting Georgia families one child at a time. These littlest of learners are singing, playing, and getting used to being preschool students through this United Way initiative.
That's really been focused around reading proficiency.
And does it make a difference?
Oh my goodness, it's got research validated some of the best improvements.
I talked with Milton Little, the CEO of United Way Greater Atlanta.
We measure outcomes, positive outcomes, through the lens of children.
And what difference do you see in the lives of those children that the United Way helps?
We're focused really on kindergarten readiness, third grade reading, because that is a gateway to academic excellence. If kids are not reading proficiently by third grade, they have a very difficult time moving through the rest of their K through 12 experience.
You have this direct line to people who need assistance through 211. Mm-hmm. What are they telling you that they need?
Oh, the 211 stories are heartbreaking. Most often we hear that people are calling because they're looking for a place to live. So they need rental assistance, they need housing assistance. They may be on the brink of being evicted. Food is another thing that people contact us for on a pretty regular basis.
The United Way gets support from individual donors and through big partnerships with Georgia businesses. Would Atlanta be Atlanta without that culture of giving?
No, Atlanta would not be the community it is without the generous people who have given. One of the things that Atlanta is known for is public-private partnerships.
There's so much uncertainty in the economy right now. Tariffs, interest rates, inflation. Are you seeing changes in how much Georgia companies can donate?
Well, companies, like individuals, give when they're feeling confident in the present and the future. And when there is that uncertainty, folks, have to decide how they're going to use their existing resources. So yes, short answer is yes, we're seeing adjustments that people make. We're seeing some reduction in money that's going to philanthropic issues.
Another challenge, Technology makes finding potential donors easier, but that also means causes from all around the world get our attention too.
What's your message then to donors to keep those dollars and keep that impact here in Georgia?
Well, the issues that we face in Georgia and greater Atlanta are pretty significant. Unfortunately, we have one of the lowest rates of social mobility for poor children in the country. Out of the top 50 cities, we rank 50th. We'll never be the Atlanta we want to be if we've got thousands of kids sitting on the sidelines.
And for people watching this conversation, can we make a difference? Can regular people make a difference?
The world is only filled with regular people. It's regular people who have always given through their paychecks to United Ways. For many years, the average size of a gift to United Way was $50. That's an ordinary person who just wants to make a difference with what they believe they can afford to do.
There are advocacy groups working to support nonprofits statewide.
I spoke with the leaders of two of those organizations about the challenges ahead.
The uncertainty is really, really tough, but what nonprofits are trying to do is pull together and figure out, okay, if the need is this and our capacity to serve is that, how do we create that impact together? And so we are trying to conceptualize, what does this really mean? How can we get, the maximum amount of impact from the remaining resources that we have? And how do we also talk to the state about perhaps picking up some of the gap there, as well as individuals and everybody? It just filters down, it doesn't go away.
But the communities that we serve are hurting, and we need to make sure that they are empowered each and every day. In the long term, we will likely see greater consolidation of resources in terms of institutions closing their doors. That also means that there are going to be fewer support services in community. And unfortunately, that's going to mean that there are fewer people being served when there's growing need.
A need for funding and a need for hands-on help.
There is a volunteer crisis.
We'll introduce you to the organization on a mission to make sure nonprofits have the help they need. And meeting the healthcare needs of a community.
Without this clinic, there are people in need that wouldn't have medical care.
How this nonprofit is facing challenges head-on. The Giving Gap is a family-to-family special. Produced in partnership with Delta Community Credit Union, Georgia Natural Gas, Kroger, and Wellstar Health System. Welcome back to The Giving Gap, a family-to-family special.
Healthcare-related nonprofits are sorting through the potential impact on funding and Medicaid after the new federal spending plan was signed into law.
They are pushing forward, committed to providing care. We went to a free clinic in Fayette County to learn how they're meeting the healthcare needs of their community.
Without this clinic, there are people in need that wouldn't have medical care.
Mike Conaway understands his team is critical for patients at the Healing Bridge Clinic in Peachtree City.
Without us, they would just go without needed medications, without needed care. They end up in the ERs and they don't have the money to pay the ER bills that they're given.
From general health care to specialty medicine, even dental and vision care, Healing Bridge Clinic provides free services to uninsured residents of Fayette and surrounding counties. They operate with a staff of 5 and dozens of volunteers.
What I love most about the clinic is that as a provider and clinician, I can just focus on the patients. We know that free clinics are critical to the community in order to reduce costs, healthcare costs to the area, but also to be able to provide the kind of care that patients need before they end up in the ER.
As with many nonprofits, the greatest challenge is funding.
We are funded through the generosity of our community, individual donors, corporate donors, churches, businesses, grant writing. We write a lot of grants, and we seek money from foundations and partnerships.
While some other nonprofits struggle, Conaway believes Healing Bridge is in a position to not only survive, but to thrive.
The fact that we're driven by local individuals and local businesses, we don't receive a lot of federal funding, so we're not as impacted as other nonprofits might be. Now, we might be impacted because of that in other ways, But what we're finding right now is our current group of funders and supporters have all committed to be with us for the long haul. So we're confident that we're going to stay strong.
Otra vez.
Since opening in 2009, the clinic has expanded to meet the needs of the community, including the recent addition of a special clinic with Spanish speakers once a month.
O sea, si yo no tuviera esta clínica, pues seguiría sin ir.
So she said that without this clinic, she wouldn't be seeking care elsewhere. She wouldn't have the ability to go elsewhere.
The goal is to have 2 to 3 of the special sessions a month by the end of this year.
It's a sense of community and a sense of service. I mean, people want to do the right thing.
From building homes to packing and delivering meals, volunteers are critical to a nonprofit's success.
That's where Hands On Atlanta comes in, and there's no way around it. They need your help.
My name is Adrienne White, and I am board chair of Hands On Atlanta. Hands On Atlanta at its core is about connecting people to nonprofits that need people to do work. There is a volunteer crisis. We had about 70,000 people volunteer across 280,000 hours last year. That sounds incredible. I'm really proud of the impact that Hands On Atlanta had, but that is only about 30 to 40% of the actual need. Since the pandemic, volunteerism has rebounded a bit, but it's not reaching those levels to where it was in 2019. Food insecurity is still massive. That is something that really has not rebounded since the pandemic. So we have seen an increase in some of the nonprofits that we partner with asking for volunteerism related to making sure that we can pack meals. In my day job, I'm a banker for nonprofits, and what I've seen is an increase in requests for lines of credit, and really what we're seeing is that there's the uncertainty and cuts, not only from the federal government, but some corporations that are also dealing with uncertainty. And where there are not dollars, it really shifts to saying, we still have to do the work. The work is not changing, it may even increase. And so volunteers come in to really be the muscle and the power behind the work that needs to be done. My ask of everybody is figure out what extra capacity you do have and share it with your neighbors, because we all need it right now. Somebody can come in and say, I really want to do it, it's in my heart, but I don't know where to start. Hands On Atlanta makes it super easy, because you can take a look at your personal schedule and go to Hands On Atlanta's website and figure out what times work, and then also what area interests you. What we want to see is not only more people, but we want to see them more committed, and that will ultimately drive this deeper impact that we really want to have across the metro Atlanta area. I think Atlanta has this unique spirit of resilience for helping our neighbor. We believe in the beloved community, and that is essentially in Atlanta's DNA.
Volunteerism and philanthropy are a part of Metro Atlanta's DNA. And a commitment to the community is also a foundation of Channel 2.
Linda, you and I and our colleagues are fortunate to be able to get out into the community to meet so many amazing people. And WSB Community and Public Affairs Director Candace Presley works with local nonprofits every day. So she has unique insight into how they're doing. Candace, you are our nonprofit liaison. You work with nonprofits, you talk with the nonprofits. What is the climate for nonprofits this year?
The climate for nonprofits this year, Fred, quite honestly, has been one of anxiety and concern from the very beginning of the year, because they are all concerned about what gaps they may experience in funding.
What do people need to know about nonprofits and how they benefit our area? They do so much.
You are so right. The nonprofit community, especially the nonprofit community here in Atlanta, the city that is too busy to hate, these nonprofit organizations are most successful when three groups do their work. When the government does its work, when the business community does its work, and when people like you and me do our work, where we step up, we volunteer, we donate money, because the folks they're caring for are underserved, under-resourced, they're in the margins, and nobody's thinking about them except for the nonprofits. So they fill in the gaps of services and make sure that the least of these in our community are cared for. They are critical to our success.
What can people do to support our nonprofits?
It's very simple. Give. Give of your time, give of your talent, give of your treasure, in whatever way that you can. And if you're somebody in the community who already has a favorite nonprofit organization or charity that you support, and you support them financially, this is the year that if you can dig a little deeper and give a little more, they will not turn that away. And because they're having to look at perhaps collaborating and working together to make sure that the least of these are served, if you have any extra time, let the nonprofit of your choice know. They will not turn you away.
Community members, cities, and corporations are stepping up. We'll show you some of the great work they're doing to help our neighbors in need. And an important message from consumer advisor Clark Howard. He'll explain how you can help, even if it's not in your budget. That's ahead when the Giving Gap continues.
As we work to address the giving gap, here's a look at how the community is stepping up. Through its Zero Hunger, Zero Waste program, family-to-family partner Kroger is on a mission to eliminate hunger. Kroger management trainees recently rolled up their sleeves at this event at the Atlanta Community Food Bank. And on top of that, Kroger's Partners in Education program helps local schools establish their own food pantries.
The pantries at the schools are really critical because when you think about 1 in 5 students are food insecure, having access at the school location where the kids are every single day is really a key way to get the foods in their hands more immediately.
Amazon and Gooder are teaming up to make sure students don't miss any meals. They held a food giveaway in Union City at C.H. Gillette Elementary School. Families of 125 students received free bags of groceries. A new farmers market is helping close the food insecurity gap. The Riverside Epicenter near Six Flags over Georgia has already helped more than 1,000 families. Nearly 40 vendors and chefs cook up meals right there on site. Mapleton's mayor told us access to fresh, affordable food has been a problem in the area for decades.
And in some cases, cities are stepping in to fill the giving gap. The city of Smyrna sets aside money for projects like this. They teamed up with the nonprofit Rebuilding Together to help seniors stay in their homes. Volunteers make all sorts of home repairs, from replacing roofs to fixing the plumbing. We know so many of you want to help, but money can be tight.
So here's some great advice from Channel 2's consumer advisor, Clark Howard.
I want you to be charitable whether you can afford it or not. What do I mean by that? If you don't have the money, donate your time. If you've got things you don't use anymore, donate them. And if you do have money that you can donate, I want you to make sure that the organization you're going to give money to is one that you have firsthand knowledge of in your local community. Or if it's a national organization or a regional one, I want you to check them out to make sure that they're spending the money that you donate efficiently.
And family-to-family partner Delta Community Credit Union is doing its part to prepare our next generation when it comes to Money Matters. Delta Community hosted Cool Cash Kids camps throughout the summer. Their experts use fun games to teach students and their parents everything they need to know about their finances, how to earn money, how to save it, and how to donate.
Of course, these days, kids think that money's just in an app where it just grows on trees, and it doesn't. So they've got to learn the basics, and these skills will just carry on with them throughout their life. So we want them to be financially healthy from the very beginning.
Thank you so much for joining us. And to learn how to support these important organizations, head to WSB-TV.com.
We will continue to report on the state of Georgia nonprofits and highlight the amazing work they're doing on Channel 2 Action News and in our weekly community affairs program, People to People. I'm Linda Stouffer.
I'm Fred Blankenship. We hope you have a great evening.
Good night.